Hello, welcome to Dungeoneers Pack, a channel bringing you player-focused discussions and character guides for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Josh, thank you for watching. Playing a pacifist character in 5th edition has always been a hit or miss. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything may have just remedied this problem by introducing the Peace Domain Cleric. So in this video, I'm going to cover the mechanics of the Peace Domain Cleric subclass, give my opinion on them, and give you some ideas on how you can fit this subclass into the official 5th edition settings. With that said, let's get started. As with all cleric subclasses, we are granted a set of domain-specific spells. The Peace Domain Cleric is no different, and they are as follows. At 1st level, we get Heroism and Sanctuary. At 3rd level, Aid and Warding Bond. 5th level, Beacon of Hope and Sending. At 7th level, Aura of Purity and Odoluk's Resilient Sphere. And at 9th level, Greater Restoration and Rary's Telepathic Bond. It should be very apparent given the name of the subclass, there are no offensive spells on this list. The spell that could be the most offensive option is Odoluk's Resilient Sphere, which we can use to trap an enemy inside the sphere. Other than that, every spell on this list is protective or supportive. The spells on this list are really going to make it hard for your enemies to take you out or land a status effect to slow your team down. Also, when we pick this subclass, we gain a skill proficiency with the Implement of Peace feature. We gain proficiency with one of the following skills of our choice: Insight, Performance, or Persuasion. The skills on this list are flavorful, but Insight and Persuasion can already be picked up from the Cleric skill list. This does open you up to picking up any of the knowledge skills from your class, but still, it's a bit of a letdown to see one of the subclass's features granted so many overlapping skills from its class. The last feature we pick up at level 1 is Emboldening Bond, which grants us a variation of one of the best level 1 spells in all of 5th edition. As an action, we can choose a number of willing creatures equal to our proficiency bonus, which can include ourselves. Those creatures are bonded together for 10 minutes or until we use this feature again. While the creatures are bonded and are within 30 feet of each other, they can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. They can only add the d4 to the rolls no more than once per turn. We can use this feature a number of times equal to our proficiency bonus and regain all uses after a long rest. Emboldening Bond is a variation of the Bless spell as a class feature, and in some ways is better than the spell. The downside that in order to gain the extra d4 to your rolls is that those that are bonded have to be within a closer proximity to each other. Even then, this isn't much of a downside. The reason I think this is better or just as good as Bless is that it doesn't use our spell slots and it doesn't require us to maintain concentration. Since we don't have to maintain concentration for this ability, we can have any other concentration spell up and still have the benefits of Bless. This also means that we can stack Emboldening Bond with Bless, giving our allies 2d4, which is a huge bonus at lower levels. At level 2, we get access to our domain-specific channel divinity, Balm of Peace. As an action, we use our channel divinity to move up to our speed without provoking opportunity attacks, and when we move within 5 feet of any other creature during this action, we can restore a number of hit points to that creature equal to 2d6 plus our wisdom modifier. A creature can only receive the benefits of this feature only once whenever we take this action. Balm of Peace is a healing spell, the dash and dodge actions all rolled into one. On average, the healing from Balm of Peace is better than Healing Word and Cure Wounds at earlier levels. At all levels, this is a great ability to have in our pocket to pick up recently downed allies. Coming in at level 6 is the Protective Bond feature, which adds a tanking ability to creatures that are bonded together. When one of the bonded creatures affected by our Emboldening Bond feature is about to take damage, one of the other bonded creatures can use its reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of them and take the damage instead as long as they are within 30 feet of each other. As I said before, this gives anyone that is affected by Emboldening Bond a tanking ability. This is a perfect ability to give to your higher hit point frontliners like the Barbarian or Fighter, so they can dive in and eat up some damage for a spellcaster that has to be in the mid to close ranges for some spell effects. With so few tanking abilities in the game, this is a welcome addition and an interesting way to implement one into the game. At level 8, we get the standard damage buff feature all cleric subclasses receive. This subclass gains potent spellcasting, which allows us to add our wisdom modifier to the damage of our cleric cantrips. The last feature comes in at level 17 and is the Expansive Bond feature. Expansive Bond aims to improve upon the previous features of the subclass. The range for creatures under the benefits of Emboldening Bond and Protective Bond increases from 30 feet to 60 feet. Also, when a creature uses Protective Bond to take someone else's damage, that creature has resistance to that damage. Expansive Bond doesn't do anything fancy for the subclass's capstone ability, but it's still a solid final feature. Expanding the range for your bonding abilities now allows you to buff or gain some protection for your spellcasters who like to blast away from a distance. The resistance given to Protective Bond cuts in half all damage taken, no matter the damage type. Before giving my final thoughts on the subclass, let's take a look at how this subclass can be played in the official 5th edition settings. In a traditional setting like Forgotten Realms, we could play a pacifist follower of the Green Goddess Eldath, making our pilgrimage across the realms, spreading our message and protecting those that have come under harm. In Eberron, this could be a halfling that's a member of House Jarosco, who served as part of the Healers Guild during their last war, healing soldiers from all sides of the conflict. Now that the war is over, they could be struggling with doing what their house has asked and wanting to create a life of their own. In Ravnica, this subclass is perfect for a member of the Selesnya Conclave, traveling around the streets of Ravnica spreading the word of Mont Selesnya. And at last in Theros, this subclass is perfect for a follower of the goddess Ifara. They could be a philosopher from the Polis Melitis, spreading the message of unity on her behalf to empower the community. For players that are looking for a strong support subclass option, the Peace Domain Cleric should be on your radar. The subclass's features reinforce the teamwork facet of the game, which are further supported by the Cleric's spellcasting abilities. The strongest ability for this subclass is Emboldening Bond. Giving us Bless as a class ability is already good in the lower levels, and the fact that we can pair this ability with the Bless spell makes it outright powerful. Just the combination of this feature and the Bless spell alone make this a really strong level 1 dip for multiclassing. The only downside I can see for this subclass comes down to positioning. In order for the abilities to shine depends on how a Dungeon Master sets up their encounters and if the party can stay within a close enough range to benefit from these abilities. If you're starting a new campaign and are looking to build a support character, then I highly recommend this subclass. With that said, I want to hear from you. What do you think of the Peace Domain Cleric? Let me know down in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, I drop a video every week, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're looking for a subclass that can create items with the power of music, check out my video on the Creation Bard. You can click on the video on the screen to see the new features the subclass can bring to your table and how you can fit it into the official 5th edition settings. Alright, I'm out of here, have a good one.